so that the person who serves God may be fully qualified and equipped to do every kind of good deed. You study the scripture, you will be fully qualified and fully equipped to do every good deed. How's that not valuable? How's that not powerful? That is awesome. The S in seek stands for study. The E in seek stands for education. The second E in seek stands for empowerment. The K in seek stands for keep at it, persistence. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. You're not going to get brilliant in a year. Set of twins. Supposedly the same DNA and all that kind of stuff, or whatever twins share. I don't know. Haven't read that book yet. One says, you know what? I'm going to be a lawyer. And the other says, you're going to go to 10 years of school after high school? I hate school. I'm not going to school. I'm just going to get a job. The other says, well, you do what you want to do, but I'm going to get a good job. Yeah, but you got to go to school for 10 years, and it's going to be a nightmare, and then you got to take the bar. He says, I know, but that's what I'm going to do. So the one goes, he gets a job. He gets a decent job right out of high school, a nice little job, and pays him well, and he's able to make a living. And he sees his brother scratching, trying to survive college, having a hard time, sharing a small apartment with 3 other guys, eating pizza 3 times a week for meals. And he's saying, man, you chose wrong. 10 years, brother number 1, who didn't go to school, he's at the same job, making about the same money. He's made a little more over the years, but not much. He stepped up to supervisor. And now his brother, he's got his first lawyer gig, and he's making twice what his other brother made. And that's his starting job. He goes up from there. Lawyers make $100, $200, $300 an hour. Those are your average lawyers. Then you get the big guys, the big guns. Now, am I saying you should be an attorney? Of course not. I'm just trying to lay out the difference in this very realistic scenario. He didn't want to go to school because it was so hard. Well, let me tell you something. I got a 1-year degree in 5 years, and I'm proud to have it. Yes, it took me 5 years. It took me a long time. But I said, I'm either going to die and it won't matter, or in 5 years I'll have the degree. Or I could look back in 5 years and say, dang, if I just stuck with it, I have the degree by now. That was what went through my mind. I said, I don't want to take this degree. It's going to take me years. But I said, so what? I like learning. I like reading. I'll just do it. And I took the kind of degree course, with a family and with a couple of churches to pastor. I knew I wouldn't have a lot of time. So I looked for a school that would let me study at my pace. And when I had extra time, I'd study harder. And when I didn't, I'd not study at all. Took my trip to Israel, brought no books, took those weeks off. Went to Turkey, took those weeks off. Got tired, didn't do anything. Took a month off here, a month off there. Said, man, I'm never going to get this done. But I kept at it, kept at it, kept at it. So I'm not at all embarrassed that it took me 5 years to get a 1-year degree. Go out and get a degree. Time's going to pass anyway. Might as well add it to your repertoire, your resume. Persistence. Keep at it. Keep at it. Listen to this. I found it from a blog. But he said he was quoting The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino, which is, by the way, a book I read many years ago. And I remember a little bit about it, and I liked it. I'm not a salesman. Somebody just gave it to me and said, this is a great book. Check it out. So I did, and I liked it. For me, it was a good read. But I think it would help a salesman. Anyway, listen to what it says about keeping at it. I will persist until I succeed. If I persist, if I continue to try, if I continue to charge forward, I will succeed. I will persist until I succeed. I've got a friend. He does pull-ups. He's in great shape. He's got one of those iron gyms. You saw him on TV all before Christmas. And he says, yeah, I do 4 sets of 20. Really? So I got an iron gym too. I can do a pull-up. I can. I did my first pull-up. I used to be able to do pull-ups, but I let it slide. Got an iron gym for Christmas, and I said, this is perfect because I can jump and give myself a little boost because I'm not strong enough to do a pull-up just yet, but if I jump, I can do a half pull-up, no problem. So I started doing half pull-ups every day. Then I went to half pull-ups and let myself down nice and slow. Now I'm getting stronger. A couple weeks later, I can do a pull-up. Ask me in a couple months where I'm at. Say, man, I don't know. I haven't seen that thing in 2 months. I will persist until I succeed, even if it's a baby little jump pull-up. That's how I'm training myself. Help me out, folks. I was not delivered unto this world in defeat, nor does failure course in my veins. I will persist until I succeed. It's not given to me to know how many steps are necessary in order to reach my goal. Failure I still may encounter at the 1,000th step, yet success hides behind the next bend in the road. Never will I know how close it lies unless I turn the corner. Always will I take another step. If that is of no avail, I will take another, and yet another. In truth, one step at a time is not too difficult. I will persist until I succeed. I will be likened to the raindrop which washes away the mountain, the ant who devours the tiger, the star which brightens the earth. I will build my castle one brick at a time, for I know that small attempts, repeated, will complete any undertaking. I will persist until I succeed. I will ignore the obstacles at my feet and keep my eyes on the goals that are above my head. For I know that where my desert ends, green grass grows, and I will persist until I succeed. How many of you admire Marines? Those guys, they're living machines. They are amazing. I read the Marine Corps handbook. It was written by a guy who was in the Marines on how to get into shape. So it was the Marine Corps workout. You don't need weights and stuff, just your natural environment. He said, now running, you need to get your cardio up. Running's the best way to do it. And you're probably thinking, I can't run. You're right, you probably can't. Here's what you need to do. And I'm not going to get this exactly right, but you'll get the idea. Walk 10 steps, run 3 steps. Walk 10 steps, run 3 steps. Walk 10 steps, run 3 steps. Do that for a mile or whatever he says it is. He says you can't run 3, run 2. Do that for, he'll say, a week. Then the next week, run 4 steps, walk 6 steps, run 4 steps. Within a couple weeks, you'll be running. Baby bites, little steps. I will keep at it. I will persist until I succeed.